Well, the list of countries formally declaring their support for Juan Guaido in Venezuela is growing. The United Kingdom, Spain, France, Germany, Denmark, the Netherlands, Lithuania and Austria officially recognized Juan Guaido as Venezuela's leader after Nicolas Maduro missed an 8-day deadline for calling a new presidential election. Sir Alan Duncan is the Minister of State for the Americas and Europe for the United Kingdom. He joins me now in our studio after attending the Lima Group meeting here in Ottawa today. Sir Alan Duncan, good to see you.
Good evening.
Thanks for coming in to speak with me. What do you think it signaled? Why was it important for you to be here at the Lima group of countries meeting here today? What was the message you were trying to send by your presence here today?
Well, it's much more than a message. I hope it is effective collective action. I mean, we in the UK have taken a long-term interest in Venezuela and have for a long time believed that Nicolas Maduro has basically destroyed democracy and his country. And so we wanted to play our part with the Lima Group, who we've been working with over the last few months, to make it absolutely clear that we are united as a group of countries to say that he is no longer the legitimate president of Venezuela, that Juan Guaido is the legitimate interim president under the Constitution, and that we will give him our full support in his proper efforts to try and rescue Venezuela from the havoc that Nicolas Maduro has wrought upon them.
How do you think it moves the process forward, what's happened here in Ottawa today?
Yeah, I mean, any process like this is slightly uncertain. It's not as if it's a decision to flick a switch and therefore it's done. It's about the accumulation of pressure and the course of events that then follows. But we hope that the pressure we're putting on him will lead to some kind of decisive change. We are already seeing, despite the climate of fear, massive demonstrations in the streets. We're seeing countries turning away from Maduro towards Juan Guaido. We're seeing the economy completely collapse. We're also seeing sanctions, I think, begin to bite. And if the senior military figures around Maduro have got any sense, they'll see the writing on the wall, desert him, and be part of the rescue of the country rather than its destruction.
That was one of the messages coming from the summit today, was a call on military leaders there to abandon Maduro and turn to Juan Guaido. So far, there have been some people who've left, but so far they haven't done that. What gives you hope that that will eventually happen?
Well, they are his sort of last bastion. I mean, they're the people who are making money out of the country, the last bit of money that is left from this destroyed country is all going to them. So long as Maduro has got the resources to pay them, they'll probably stick with him for a bit longer. But if that money can dry up, and if they also look into the crystal ball and realize that their personal future is going to be in jeopardy, they're going to end up in prison, they're going to end up not having a happy life unless they walk away from Maduro now. Now, that's not an automatic, easy process. But I think we can see the beginning of the end. And you asked at the beginning, you know, what's the significance of us going? It is the fact that if countries like Britain and Spain and France and Germany are all backing the regional countries who have, of course, taken in millions of Venezuelans who fled, then the combination of all this, added to Canada and America, we think will make a difference.
Okay, Juan Guaido, made a video appeal to the group today saying, step up the pressure, step up the pressure. That's what Maduro needs to hear. What additionally is Britain prepared to do to step up that pressure? And what do you think other countries need to do beyond what we're seeing to this point to get Maduro to listen?
First of all, we've recognized Juan Guaido today. We said 8 days ago, or 9 days ago, that we would if Maduro did not call proper, free, fair, fresh elections for the presidency. He hasn't, so we've recognized. So have a large number of European countries. I'd like to see some European sanctions put on the Maduro regime, the specific people around him. We are watching very closely the fact that the countries around Maduro have referred the entire state apparatus to the International Criminal Court, citing thousands and thousands of murders and disappearances. That will be pressure. The Americans, of course, have applied oil sanctions. Some people say that's going to hurt the poor. The poor cannot be hurt more than they're hurt. They're hurt now. The sort of money that's coming in goes to the people at the top. That's what we've got to dry up.
The summit today issued a declaration that says the Lima Group wants transition without the use of force. The U.S. president isn't ruling out the use of force to force Maduro from office. Where are you on that?
I think that there was no mention of the use of force today. I fully believe in the proper constitutional process here. And I mean, Guaido has been very, very clever, I think, and decent in the way he's announced his own interim presidency. He's done so within the rules of the Constitution. He's upholding the very Constitution that Maduro has been consistently breaking. The National Assembly, which gives him his authority, is the legitimately elected organization in Venezuela, which the Constituent Assembly, set up in a fake way by Maduro, is not. So he's also been talking very sensible things about economics. He's been talking to countries around the world, making it clear that this is not a coup or anything like that.
Right.
This is him using the Constitution to say, let's have elections to get the democracy working again. And by the way, we also had a video from Mr. Lopez, who is the opposition leader under house arrest. And so, you know, there is a much wider movement here that goes beyond Juan Guaido.
But if Maduro's not abandoned by the military and he finds a way to hang on to power as he seems intent on doing, and Donald Trump's talking about possible military intervention, would he have the support of Great Britain, or would he be told that's a bad idea, Mr. President?
I don't think we will see military intervention. That's not what we're angling for. I think the real heart of the question you're asking actually is how long will it take? Because my view is that this will lead to the solution that we're looking for. And for instance, around that have to be sensible talks about whether there's an exit route somehow for Maduro to go to another country or to stand down or whatever. So, you know, let's not pretend that this is confrontation. I mean, there does need to be some kind of dialogue, and there are contacts, there are discussions, and if Maduro is sensible, he'll see the writing on the wall, take an exit route, get out of his illegitimate position as president, and hand back the country to the democratically elected forces who can piece it together again.
All right, Sir Alan Duncan, good to speak with you. Thanks for coming in.